Hello, welcome to my life. My name is Kati and today I'm going to show you my personal ring setup, and I call this my project planner, so it will be one of my 3 planners. So my pocket rings, which I call my main planner because that has all the important things that I can't miss. Then I have my mini rings, which is my daily planner. And now I will add a third one to the mix, which will be my project planner, because I can't fit my projects. I tried, I can't fit them in these mini rings. So the personal rings is back in my lineup. And this is a MeePlus SlimPad with 11mm rings, and I showed an unboxing of this last week. So this is the Pueblo purple leather, which was their limited color last year. So I'm sorry if you would like to buy one too. As far as I know, they are not selling it anymore, but let's hope that they will, because this is a lovely color and I'm not such a fan of limited editions. So let's hope they will bring it back. So my project planner setup. I have the ring protectors here, which I bought with this planner, and this today sounds better than someday is an old flyleaf that I have made. I think this was a happy planner thing, this that I have cut into personal size, and then this is just a picture from online. And here first I have empty pages, empty note pages, different ones for me to use, and then this is also an old flyleaf which has these slits for easy access, but it's just dividing these empty papers from my project folders. And yes, you can see I'm struggling with the 11mm rings, so I'm not sure, or yeah, so I don't know if I should have taken the 16mm rings. That was the second option, so either 11 or 16. I have in my mini 11 and I love it, and I have in my pocket I have 20, and this is a huge deal compared to this. And I wanted my personal planner to be also a slim deal, so that's why I chose the 11, because I wanted to keep my setup slim. But with the small rings we come to the thing that it is so important how much space there is between the paper edge and the holes. So these I got, well, yeah. It's so finicky. Okay, so this is from Filofax. It doesn't say it, but it is. The personal size which I have used is 9.5 times 17.1. Now that I bought inserts from MeePlus, they are all 9.5 wide, so that is good. But these from the lightweight section are 17.0, so 1mm shorter. And then these from the basic line, which is a thicker paper, these are 17.3, so 2mm higher than the regular size. That, yeah, you can see it nicely here. So I kind of don't understand the different sizes. Okay, you can sell whatever you want, but again, I don't understand. Maybe they come from a different seller and so on, but why? Why do you have to have 17 and 17.3? I don't understand. I find it a bit irritating, but I will make it work. But now we come to the holes. This lightweight has 3mm margin here, and this basic one has 4. Let's see. Well, this seems to be also 3. But I think I had also some that had 4. This has 4. So I set up my planner with these inserts. Some have 4mm, and my punch, I will get to the setup, I promise. My punch, this Rapesco punch, this makes a 4mm margin. So all the papers that I punched myself had 4mm margin. And that is too much for this. They kind of fit. When they are like this, the pages are like totally like together. But I get irritated about my pages not turning, so when I had made my setup, I realized that 4mm is too much, so I had to take everything out and cut those pages that had 4mm margin, so I cut a millimeter from here. So now this works like somewhat. So I made these folders because I love these from Plotter, the project manager. So I wanted something similar for my personal, and I can't buy these. At least I don't know a place where I could easily buy these and they would ship to Finland. So I decided to make them myself because it's like a piece of paper that you just fold on two places, but I decided to make this without this fold because this brings, of course, more bulk to the rings. So I decided I don't need this because I realized that the point of this in my mind is that my papers won't get mixed with other papers here. But if I have only these folders, it's not possible because this project ends when this folder starts. So I decided I don't need this. I just needed the one fold. And I chose a very thin paper. So this is actually Rhodia, from a Rhodia paper pad, and it's 70 GSM. Again, because I wanted to save space for my other notes and paper. So saving space is the keyword here. But then I realized that with the 70 GSM and white, you can see through here. So that's why I have put some extra pages here now to cover up my projects and notes, because otherwise you could see them here through. And I would have probably used colorful papers if I would have those, but I don't have. So, and I didn't want to buy any, so that I would have like these different colors. So then I had to just decorate them so it would be easy for me to find the right project here. And I decided on to cut this height in 17.3 so it would match also these mini joy inserts. But the problem was that because the paper was a bit higher, I couldn't use the personal I couldn't use this personal size here, so I just had it to make it a bit bigger and then test so I would find the right place, that the holes would be in the same place as these inserts. And yeah, okay, it was a lot of like things that to take in consideration. So 17.3 in height, and then I decided that it will be like 9.5 plus 3 millimeters for extra space, so that's 9.8. And then I decided to leave here 1 centimeter room, so this has to be 8.8. So I cut these papers in 17.3 times 18.6. But now they are 18.5 because I had the rings with the 4 millimeter margin, so I cut the 1 millimeter off after making these folders. So that's the story of these folders. So now we get to the setup. So I chose some nice pet tapes and stickers and washies, and I wanted different colors so that I would easily find my right project folder. So this first one is my personal, so health and everything related to myself. And I have to admit, I forgot about this category. I made all the other folders and I had planned the themes, and then at the end I was like, wait a minute, where do I put notes that are concerning me. If I would like to have a self-development thing or a health improvement or something, so then I just quickly had to make one folder more. I'm a bit ashamed of that I forgot about myself, but maybe that's the story of my life. I don't know. But now here in front I have my personal folder and I love it. I tried to give it a purple theme, like I feel purple is for personal development. Then these diamonds are for my YouTube projects. And yes, a project for me is anything that you want to do that has more than one step, like more than one task. And if you think about it, a lot of things that you do are more than one task. For example, if you like to buy something, for me it starts usually that I search for the different options and then I maybe have to look some reviews. So searching for options is one task. Then looking for reviews is a second task. Then you have to look at the reviews, then you have to consider what you find important and so on. So it's not just one task. So in that way, a lot of things are projects. Even doing your laundry is a project, but because that's such an everyday task, I can do it. Well, actually I have to admit I do write on my daily page all the phases. Or cooking. I need to take the meat out and then I have to prepare the rice and then I have to cook and afterwards I have to do the dishes. That's a lot of steps. So in that way, a lot of things are projects. So a lot of things will end up here. I just wanted to make sure that you understand where I come from when I talk about projects. Of course, a project can be also something that's huge, that takes you a month or a year to complete, or a lifetime, like my decluttering projects, which go here in the yellow section, which is for home. Green is for money and finances. This blue one is for income, so my job searching. Then this flowery, this is from paper planks, this washi, or almost all of these washies, except for this is empty washi. These other ones are from paper planks. So this is for other people and places. And this is just an old insert that I found, so I put it here, trying to remind myself of not buying so much. And this is my shopping folder. And then the last one is for future. So here I will put all the lists of future tasks and projects. And with future I mean things that are not now ongoing or current, that I'm not taking the time to do those now or focusing on those now. And that is the setup. So it's pretty simple. And then in the end I have this with the elastic closure and my white pen loop. And I actually put here an old Hobonichi pen because I have these, so I will try now with the Hobonichi pen because I don't like to put my pens. Oh, actually this goes nicely. But all of my friction pens, this clip is so tight, so it's like forcing it to be here. But this goes nicely. But of course, if you put it like this, you don't get anything here on the leather marking it up. And I had some trouble in my unboxing video opening these rings, so let's see. It's easier now. So with using them, they open easier, but I had such a trouble opening those in my unboxing. And yes, actually I was planning to show you a little size comparison. So this is the personal rings that I bought a few weeks back. I think this has like, I would guess like 19mm rings. So you can see the size difference. And it also has a size difference here. So if I would move this like this, so because I want this to be slim and lightweight. So in everyday life, I could carry these together and it wouldn't feel bad. Like this I don't need in my everyday life. This is more like, well, actually, yeah, sorry. But I use this in the morning and in the evening when I do my planning or journaling. But I don't carry this around during the day. This is my main daily planner, and now I want to add this. Oh, this is so lightweight. Yeah, the setup is slimmer in my personal rings now. So this is both are 11 millimeters, so this should fit more. I just have to cut the margin slim enough, so yeah. And it's harder to flip just like this through, but it's pretty easy to open to the right section. But if you are trying to flip it through like this in order, it gets difficult, but opening like this, it's no problem. And I do cut slits to my inserts, so that also, of course, and I have some funky inserts, so of course that makes the flipping through a bit difficult. So if you would have your inserts without slits and any funky things, so that makes it a bit difficult. But I just want to have easy access to remove and add inserts. So yes, the size comparison. So then I have this Filofax Metropole, which is a pretty normal size. Now I'm guessing this was 23 millimeter, these rings. So here is also a size difference. So it's taller and wider than both of these. You can see here. So it's a huge difference. And when you add this, it's like full, it will be heavy. So then, and the last one is actually this one. It doesn't have rings now, but it's the cover for, this is the ready-made from the Touch Me line from VDS. So this is the personal size, which they call standard. And I have 25 and 30 millimeter rings for this, but this I can say this killed my love for personal rings, because this just stepped over some kind of limit and this was too huge. So if we start with the red one, oh, you can see the size difference. I think it's a valid comparison, but of course the rings would be even bigger. Then it's bigger than the Filofax. Ah, it's huge. And then let's compare with this. Oh. So these both are personal size. Like, look at the difference here. It's like, this is like one finger almost, and this is two of my fingers. It's like, and then the thickness. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. So I'm happy about it, and I will make it work. I just need to consider the margins, and I will link the videos that I have made about punching, but I also did my old trick to this. So it was tough because this should be like 1 millimeter. So if this makes a 4 millimeter margin, I would need this to be 1 millimeter. It's maybe like 1/1.5 on some. It's hard to cut a 1 millimeter piece. So it will make now about 2.5/3 millimeter margin. So I can use this now to punch my personal inserts. And I just put the piece here where the paper should lie, so it stops the paper earlier, so that way I get a smaller margin, because I want to make things simple. I don't want like always, that's an option, you punch your papers and then you cut the 1 millimeter off, but then you get smaller inserts unless you also cut your inserts and make them 9.6 then punch, then cut 1 millimeter off. No, I want to have the insert in the size that I want and then punch and then be ready to go. So now I have tweaked my Repesco also, because this wasn't the problem previously because I had bigger rings, but now with the 11 millimeter, that 4 millimeter margin it's just too big for me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a happy new year 2026. Wow. And have a nice day, and I hope to see you down below in the comments and in my next video. Bye bye.